Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Arena Showcase. Now, I have been gone for a little while, but hey, obviously I'm back, so let's dive right into this one. Without further ado, on this episode of Arena Showcase, we'll be taking a look at WCW Slamboree. The first Slamboree event took place in 1993 at the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia, in front of just over 7,000 fans. The logo featured a cursive font in purple with a top-down perspective of a wrestling ring for the backdrop. The event year and tagline were also included. The stage area consisted of a large gold curtain for the backdrop with a purple banner. Now, at some point during the pay-per-view, something happens to the purple banner as it's not seen at all during the second half of the show. I've never seen the entire show, so I couldn't tell you if it was just a stage malfunction or if it was worked into a storyline. Maybe somebody could shed some light on that one for me. The ramp was elevated all the way from the stage to the side of the ring and featured a substantial amount of lighting as well. Over at the ring area, we see blue, black, and yellow ropes with blue and yellow turnbuckle pads. We also get a light blue ring canvas, blue apron banners, and blue padding around the ring area. The graphics for wrestler introductions feature generic white lettering over a purple backdrop with a teal outline. The show logo is also incorporated to the left. Not sure what these are supposed to be, but they decided to put one smack dab in the middle of the logo as well. In 1994, Philadelphia hosted Slamboree with 4,000 in attendance. The event logo remains the same with the exception of the year, which didn't appear for the on-screen presentation but made it on promotional graphics. This would be the first Slamboree to feature announcer introduction graphics, which feature a white blocky font that was actually used quite frequently in WCW during the mid-90s. For the wrestler introductions, we see quite much of the same as we did in '93, with the font style and color being the only thing that was changed. This year, the stage dons a blue curtain with a black banner featuring the show's logo. Very similar to what we saw last year, but a little more condensed as the set doesn't stretch very far and the on-stage lighting structures are a little closer to the actual entry point. We also see the addition of not one, but two video screens appearing to the far left and to the far right of the stage area. On our way to the ring, we see the same elevated ramp that was used from the previous year's event. The ring area is all new for '94, featuring black ropes, yellow turnbuckle pads, and the iconic WCW Bullseye logo for the ring mat. We also see dingy blue apron banners and gray padding around the ring. For backstage interviews, we see a bluish-purplish curtain with the event logo over the top of it. In 1995, WCW took to St. Petersburg, Florida with 7,000 fans in attendance. As you can see, the logo once again retains the same look, not featuring the event year on the telecast but appearing on the promotional ads instead. Announcers see the same font introductions as the previous year, while the wrestlers' graphics are new, this year ditching the background and changing the font back to white. The event logo once again appears to the left, only a bit smaller than years past. In 1995, WCW frequently used the dual-screen stage setup for most of their pay-per-view events, and we see that one here as well. Each screen features a bottom and a side lighting structure, while a red curtain hangs behind the entire stage to finish things off. Hey, there's a young Cody Rhodes. Since the stage area isn't elevated like previous years, the ramp does not make a return, instead a small walkway is present. At the ring, we once again see the traditional WCW Bullseye canvas, complete with blue apron banners and yellow and blue turnbuckle pads. 7,791 wrestling fans would witness Slamboree 1996 live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This would be the first major logo change in the event's history, and though the structure of the logo remains the same, the entire color scheme and tagline have been changed. Returning to the logo is the year of the event. The commentary team's on-screen introductions consist of a big bold font that has almost a metallic effect to it, which sits atop a semi-transparent banner with the show logo to the left. For the wrestlers, we see much of the same, with additional information displayed below names in smaller text. Over at the entrance area, we see a center-mounted screen with lighting structures underneath, to the left, and right, and above. Behind, a purple backdrop runs the entire length of the set, completing the stage. At the ring, we see what would become the final iteration of the bullseye format, consisting of gray apron banners, a muted blue canvas, black ropes, and yellow turnbuckle pads. In 1997, nearly 10,000 would attend Slamboree in Charlotte, North Carolina. The logo has changed, once again, ditching the top-down perspective ring background and adding a little design below, and while the color scheme has changed, once again, the same cursive font is reused here. This would also be the first time a slogan isn't incorporated into the event logo. The font used to introduce the commentary team is new and appears in this peachy color, and kind of reminds me of the Full House logo. This same font is carried over to the wrestler introductions, but appears in white, with the show logo to the left. The stage area is probably the biggest change we've seen in the event's history, and reminds me a lot of the kind of stages the WWF would use for pay-per-views in '97 and '98. Lots of steel framing make up the design and also double as lighting structures, with a large video screen up top for entrance videos, and shorter, wider videos on the sides to display the event logo and wrestlers' names and such. All of the previous events featured a large curtain for the backdrop which ties into the set, but they've strayed from that here, with the backdrop being pushed really far back and being changed to black to become less noticeable. This would be the first Slamboree to feature the event logo directly on the canvas, which, along with the ring apron banners, appear gray in color. To finish things off, ropes are black with yellow turnbuckle pads. In 1990 and 8, as Tony Schiavone would say, Slamboree took to Massachusetts with 11,592 fans in attendance. The font remains the same, but the tail end of the last letter E has been extended into a banner that spans the length of the logo underneath, which features the WCW and NWO logo, with the latter being the first and only time that it would appear for Slamboree. Over at the commentary table, we see white uppercase block lettering with black outlines for the announcers, with the last names appearing smaller than the first. For wrestlers, we see lowercase letters used with the same font and outline, but here the addition of a black and red striped banner is used for the background, with the event logo to the left. The stage features a giant cutout version of the event logo in front of a lightly colored backdrop, with a large lighting structure above and stage lighting spread throughout the rest of the set. Instead of wrestlers walking around the giant logo to make their way to the ring, a door was constructed in the middle which would actually open during entrances, usually accompanied by a giant cloud of smoke. The surface area of the stage is completely red, and with the return of an elevated stage, we see the return of a ramp, which is also completely red. Over at the ring, we see the return of the event logo in the middle of the canvas, with the addition of the 10-3-2-1 logo, the event sponsor, in all four corners of the ring. The apron banners remain gray, along with the canvas and padding around the ring, with the ropes being black and red turnbuckle pads. In 1999, WCW set an attendance record for Slamboree as over 20,000 strong packed into the TWA Dome in St. Louis, Missouri. Promotional posters displayed a logo similar to the previous years, but by the time the event actually took place, the company had received its overhaul, resulting in this logo, which bears no resemblance to any others from the past. Announcers see nameplates that consist of actual metal plates for the background, with white font trimmed with a black outline. What we see for the wrestlers is pretty similar, with the metal backdrop stretching from end to end and additional information appearing below names in smaller font. The show logo can also be seen to the left side of the screen. The stage resembles the previous years in the sense that it's essentially just a cutout of the event logo, though this one is much smaller and is hung against a black backdrop versus standing atop a stage. A steel structure which houses lights runs up the sides and across the top of the set, with additional lighting stretching below the logo. Logos for 1010 220 can also be seen at the bottom and at the top of the set. Though this event features the new WCW logo, the classic version can be seen off to the side of the stage. Over at the ring, we see a lot of gray appearing as the main color for the ring canvas, the apron banners, and the ringside padding. Ropes, turnbuckle pads, and posts are all black, and the event logo can be seen atop the ring mat, along with that of 1010 220, which appears in each corner of the canvas. Kansas City, Missouri would be the home of the last ever Slamboree on May 7, 2000, with just over 7,000 fans in attendance. The logo from 1999 was reused here, with some versions containing a Western Union logo at the bottom. Announcers are introduced with a stylish white font featuring slight shadowing. Wrestlers get the same font with the addition of a brownish backdrop banner with torn edges and the event logo to the left. By the year 2000, WCW had strayed from custom stage designs for each show and moved towards a universal set like the one we see here. The entryway features multiple layers of steel structures with lighting, while a video screen sits atop, also surrounded by steel framing and lighting. At the bottom of the screen, we see a Western Union logo. Behind the entire structure, we see a rather large, semi-transparent backdrop that can display video. Over at the ring, we see black apron banners with the event logo, as well as a gray canvas with not only the Slamboree logo, but the Western Union logo as well at the front and rear of the mat. To finish things off, we see red ropes, black turnbuckle pads, black ring area floor pads, and black posts. And that's Slamboree. For a pay-per-view that lasted not even a decade, we saw quite the change over the years. Which one was your favorite? Let me know in the comments section below, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I just want to give a quick shout out to my subscribers. Thanks for hanging around, and I hope to have many new great videos up soon, so stay tuned.